Hello, this is Reverend Dore Jacques Patlian from Sarasota, Florida, teaching the science of mind again. And it's a beautiful day here. I hope it's as pretty where you are. Today we're going to be talking about living in the grace of forgiveness. Each one of us on this planet lives in a state of grace, whether we know it or not. Grace is freely given by God at the moment of our creation. It's not earned by effort or prayer or good works, as some people have taught us. Grace is a great gift of God. It's our birthright. Grace is free, but we have to learn to recognize it and how to use it. Let's look at grace in just a slightly different light than you may have done previously. To me, grace is the keys to the kingdom that every human has been given by means of our mind and our will and our freedom. These three great human attributes are what make us at once human and divine. We're divine because God lives and moves and has His being within each one of us, and we in Him. Divine because God lives His life through us on our behalf. We are God's eyes, ears, legs, and hands. God experiences our life through us. In fact, we exist because we're thoughts in the great mind of God. In a sense, we were thought into being, and Dad and Mom are the delivery system. God and man are really partners in human existence, which is why we in Science of Mind often say we co-create our lives with God. If you think about it, we really do. God provides the lives and the plans and the materials. We design and build our lives with our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. We're human because we're made to live in the physical realm, the relative realm in which everything relates to something else. And it's a place where creation takes place only by desire, will, and belief. We're, in a sense, a hybrid form of intelligence, as we have the ability to manipulate and manage the physical world, while at the same time we can soar to the heights of divine contemplation and thought, and can experience the vast oneness of God. As the Master reminded us, we're all gods. We're gods in training. And greater things than He had done, we may do also. We are spiritual beings having a really short physical experience. We've been spirits since before the beginning of time. And from time to time, we choose to come into a body. Somewhere, here on Earth, maybe on Klingon, if such a planet exists. Our essential nature is spiritual. The physical realm is something we have to learn to survive in. It's not our natural state. If you've ever had a child, if you've ever had a baby in your life, you've seen how close to spirit that baby is and how with our tutelage, unfortunately, it moves more and more from God into the day-to-day physical realm. The grace of forgiveness is that inner feeling, that feeling that we're okay. Oh, we may have fallen short on occasion, but we know that we're beloved of God for all eternity. You see, God has known each one of us for eons of time before we came into this body and this life. God knows exactly whom we are and who we are not. We're not strangers to God, and we're certainly not a surprise to God. The states of consciousness that we can choose to inhabit from one day to the next is truly amazing. It's our choice because we've been given absolute free will. God has no use for a race of automatons who do just what they're programmed to do. God wants humans in His image who can create with a thought and a word, just as He does, but on an earthly scale rather than a cosmic scale. We've all heard the quotation, "In my Father's house are many mansions," which really means rooms. If it were not so, would I not have told you? The Christ has gone before us to prepare these rooms for us. And by the Christ, I mean the Christ mind. I don't mean Jesus the man. These rooms are state of mind that we may choose at will. This means that the Christ mind that was in Jesus is in us as well. The Christ mind is always there for us to use, to create whatever we need or want. It is always there to show us the way, to do what others say is impossible, to heal us when we need healing, and to help us to rise above our humanity. That Christ mind in us stands at the door of our mortal mind and knocks, but few of us answer. For most of us have never learned that the mind of the Christ is within. In fact, we've been taught the exact opposite, and we believe it. That is the secret of the life well lived, to answer when the Christ knocks and open our mortal mind to our higher selves. The Christ mind, the state of mind in which Jesus opened his mind. That is how the man Jesus became the Christ, or the Anointed One. The Christ mind is what heals us when we are sick. It is what can heal others too frightened or caught up in the effects to heal themselves. We can use it to heal others. Every one of us is a healer if we would but learn how. Science of Mind teaches all who desire to learn how each of us can access this Christ mind and how to use it for the highest good for all. You must never use it with ill intent, only for the highest and good, best for all. When we are in our Christ mind, our higher selves, we need not compete or win to be happy. Like the flowers of the field and the birds of the sky, our needs and wants are met without struggle or worry, because we are one with God, and we know that God is our supply in all things. And with God, all things are not only possible, but easy. Love yourself. This is a commandment you have to honor, because without that you can't ever enter the kingdom of heaven, and you can't ever use the Christ mind. Who are you to judge the creation of God? If you would love yourself, you must forgive yourself. So many of us have failed to forgive ourselves. We're so obsessed by past mistakes, some of them bad mistakes, and we just feel that we're not worthy. You know, we all understand that humans learn by overcoming, by trial and error, and by mistakes. That's natural and necessary. We learn little from success. We learn volumes from our failures and mistakes. We have to accept God's grace of forgiveness and love ourselves, because God certainly loves us. God knows everything that you've done, and you were forgiven the moment you did it. No person ever entered the kingdom of heaven. I define that as the peace that passes all understanding, a feeling of being right with God, with your world and all that's in it, while loathing themselves or being in a state of self-hatred. Forgiveness isn't for others, it's for you. You take the poison out of your soul. You take the bitterness out of your heart when you forgive others who've wronged you, or forgive yourself, most importantly. You cannot be whole and know the Christ mind until you forgive yourself and know that you are unconditionally loved, that God cherishes you beyond your understanding. You cannot feel like the person you always knew you could be until you make peace with yourself. Do it today. I speak my word for you right now. I tell you now that you are forgiven of whatever you have done by God. When you make that peace, you've made peace with God. God and each one of us are one. When you understand the concept of at-one-ment, which we call atonement, that means that you realize that you and God are not separate, but you're one mind, one heart. Then you are free for all eternity. See, there's really no separation between man and God. We're only here on a short visit. We'll be back home again soon. This is the message that the man Jesus was charged with bringing. But we didn't listen. We thought it was all about sacrifice. We heard his message with ears of a child. We read it with the eyes of a child, and we get a child's message. No, dear ones, the truth is it's all about realizing who you are, why you're here, and about love for God, love for yourself, and love for all with whom you come in contact. You can achieve at-one-ment today, and I can show you how. Visit my website at awakenheartministries.org and learn more. Pick up The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes today. It's available at Amazon.com, $3.25. Your church can certainly afford that, and each of you should have it in your library. You can even put it on your smartphone through the Kindle app. For now, may God bless and keep you, and may you be prosperous, well, and happy until we speak again. And so it is.